Your unity and solidarity are of great importance for advancing the interests of the Turkish community at both local and federal levels. The Turkish Day parades and festivals you organize across America contribute to promoting our country to our American friends. Additionally, they play an important role in passing on our national identity to our youth and future generations. You are already aware of the importance of our people abroad, holding on to their faith and cultural values. Wherever they may be, I always remind our citizens, we fully support integration, but we are equally opposed to assimilation. We want our citizens to excel in every field, to be successful, and to contribute to the society they live in. However, we do not want our people to lose their identity, their core values, or their beliefs. While existing in the society you live in, never forget your language, your culture, your essence, or your roots. I know that the Turkish-American community is in a good position in this regard, and I am pleased with this. Dear brothers and sisters, Turkey is one of the leading countries in fighting the scourge of terrorism, both on the ground and at the negotiating table. As the Turkish community in America, your support for our fight against terrorist organizations, especially FETÖ and PKK, is very important. Members of terrorist organizations not only harm the interests of our country, but also directly or indirectly target our citizens abroad, their commercial ventures, and civil society organizations. Organization members who try to gain benefits by flooding American decision-makers and commercial circles with lies are also trying to incite division and polarization within the Turkish community. I expect you to remain vigilant against those who willingly take part in every operation against Turkey. Yesterday, I did not fall for their tricks, and from now on we will be even more careful. We will continue our fight against these traitors, whose only goal is to harm Turkey and the Turkish nation, who have attempted to overthrow the will of the people, whose hands are stained with the blood of our citizens, and who aim to destroy our democracy, our peace, and our unity. We will carry out this struggle to the end, on the legal ground. I want to especially draw attention to this point. In recent years, Islamophobia and xenophobia, especially in Western countries, have turned into a major plague threatening the peace of our citizens. Almost every day, there is an arson attack on our mosques, Islamic centers, or businesses owned by Muslims. Immigrants and Muslims are also the target of far-right movements. Social media and some politicians are almost encouraging the spread of racist hatred, fanning the flames. As Turkey, we closely follow the far-right movements and hate speech in the countries where our citizens live. We advocate that Islamophobia, like racism, should be classified as a crime and subject to legal sanctions. The adoption of March 15th as the International Day to Combat Islamophobia by the United Nations General Assembly and the initiation of the preparation of a national strategy document on the fight against Islamophobia is a good example of this. We will continue to lead the fight against hostility toward Muslims in the future as well. Dear brothers and sisters, we see that various interest groups opposed to Turkey continue to exert pressure on Congress. You are the ones who know best the discomfort caused by such activities in the Turkish-American public. We must remain vigilant against this mentality that tries to poison the minds of our children and youth by filling school curricula with baseless slanders. I expect you to respond to these high-level activities in unity and coordination, which will ensure that American politicians learn the historical facts. The exploitation of issues that should be left to historians by various lobbies for political purposes will contribute neither to Turkish-American relations nor to the normalization efforts Turkey continues with Armenia. The war in Ukraine, now entering its third year, threatens regional and global stability. From the very first day, we have emphasized the need to prioritize diplomacy for lasting peace in the region. Let me be clear. Every drop of blood spilled and every day spent in conflict is a great loss. With this understanding, we are patiently continuing our efforts to establish a just peace. I would like to specifically state this here. The global system and institutions tasked with ensuring peace and security are very clearly in moral decline. The massacre that has been ongoing in Gaza for 352 days has once again shown this. Look, 30 years after Srebrenica, we are now witnessing an extremely brutal genocide in Gaza right before the eyes of the entire world. To date, 1.9 million people have been forced to leave their homes. These people are struggling to survive in deplorable conditions, with no infrastructure, and relying on whatever little they have left. While all this suffering is taking place, unfortunately, aside from a handful of brave individuals, we see no visible reaction from governments. Likewise, global institutions have not taken any effective steps to stop the oppression in Gaza or prevent Israel's massacres. Every time Israel commits an illegal act, it is rewarded, and each time it launches even bloodier, more ruthless, and more merciless attacks. The genocide Israel is carrying out, particularly in Gaza and other Palestinian territories, threatens peace in our region. The recent attacks on Lebanon and the latest statements from Israel are clear indications of efforts to spread the war across the region. As Turkey, we are doing everything in our power to stop this policy of occupation, invasion, and massacre, and we will continue to do so. We have never remained silent, and we will not remain silent against any attack on the sanctity and historical status of our first Qibla, Al-Aqsa Mosque. In all my meetings with leaders here, I will underline that we must increase pressure on Zionist Israel through all available channels to establish a lasting ceasefire. Across various states in America, including the streets of New York, people of conscience have taken to the streets demanding an end to the suffering of Palestinians and the realization of their own independent state. We have followed with appreciation your activities alongside Muslim Americans in Washington, New York, Boston, and Chicago. I expect you to maintain your sensitivity on this issue. May God be pleased with everyone who has become the voice of the oppressed Palestinians. I would like to emphasize the importance of increasing your contact and cooperation with Muslim Americans and other segments in the United States. Especially in such times, it is of utmost importance that we show a strong stance and solidarity. I once again underline that the Turkish-American community must come together on common ground, not in a divisive but in an inclusive manner, and be represented in the best and most effective way in every field. Also, please do not forget this. Both our embassies in America and our institutions and organizations in Turkey are by your side. We will continue to support you in the economy, trade, civil society, and other areas. I pray that our solidarity and affection will last forever. I congratulate each and every one of you again for representing Turkey and the Turkish nation successfully here. With these thoughts, I once again thank Task, who has brought us together around this table of affection today. I thank each and every one of you for attending this brotherhood gathering, and I greet you with love and respect. Stay well.
Bu kardeşlik buluşmasına katıldığınız için her birinize teşekkür ediyor. Sizleri sevgi ve saygıyla selamlıyorum. Kalın sağlıcakla.